By 2004, THQ and Nuke's SmackDown series had been PlayStation's flagship wrestling franchise. After the smash hit that was Here Comes the Pain, THQ were eventually bound to run out of shit to call it. So THQ and Nuke decided to do a rebrand in the form of SmackDown vs RAW, a series completely focused on brand warfare. During the coming weeks, I will be reviewing every SmackDown vs RAW game. At the time of recording this voiceover, the Royal Rumble is today. And that obviously starts the road to WrestleMania. The first SmackDown vs. Raw is revolutionary in a lot of ways. For one, it was the first game to have the side-facing camera, which is still in use today in today's 2K series. It was also the first WWE game to have a licensed soundtrack, to my knowledge. You got bands like Powerman 5000, Breaking Benjamin. Get out of here, dude. The original SmackDown vs. Raw still maintains the controls of the SmackDown series. This was before it would change to the joystick in 2007. SVR brings in some new additions in the form of these pre-match minigames. They aren't bad in any way, and I'm kinda glad they are here. In later entries, the series adds on to these pre-match minigames. There's also the introduction of the clean and dirty meter. This establishes who's the face and who's the heel. Faces raise their meter by doing high-flying moves and doing taunts, and the heels raise theirs by being overall dickheads. And if you don't really care, you can just select neutral. Game does feel silky smooth, which is always good to report for any video game. There's no real stiffness when playing the game. All of the match types you expect to be in a wrestling game in 2004 are here, from table matches, ladder matches, and the iconic Elimination Chamber. There is one match type I do kinda find weird, and that's the Hell in the Cell. It has some weird ass shit to it, like, for one, why are the weapons outside of the cage? Shouldn't they just be under the ring? And why is the cell too close to the ring? This is an issue that's in today's 2K series. There should be more space on the outside to wrestle, not have these little ass enclosed spaces. And also, how did I lose? I tapped out outside of the cell. When has that ever happened on WWE television? Another high spot of this game are the entrances. My favorite being Matt Hardy, just because I love they include the whole Matt facts and the whole old school glitch effect. It's really cool, but guys like Rey Mysterio and Kurt Angle also have really great entrances. John Cena in this game has his basic thugonomics entrance, but he doesn't say anything. Why? Would it have just killed the dev team to record one basic line that could refer to everybody? A few complaints I have about SmackDown vs. Raw is the fact that there aren't any victory animations. It just ends and then there's the match menu. The chamber has a victory motion, and the cell does as well. So why doesn't just normal match types have a victory animation? One complaint this game is known for is its lacking roster size. Now, a lot of wrestlers were cut from the game. I made a whole video about the cut content for all the SmackDown vs. Raw games. If you want to go watch that after this, I'll put a link in the description. But some of the biggest wrestlers being cut from this game were Lita, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Brock Lesnar, and Goldberg. Now, I can easily imagine some wrestling fan in 2004 buying this game on release and being extremely disappointed.
Flashback.
No Lita, Austin, Goldberg, or Brock? Man, this game sucks. I'm going to play Here Comes the Pain. Once again, Season Mode returns, and it gets a giant revamp in the form of voice-acted cutscenes. Although, most of it isn't good at all.
Well, maybe if you'd stop distracting me while I'm in that ring, I wouldn't be losing so much.
Like, here, hearing The Undertaker say lines he would never say is very strange. Season Mode thankfully allows you to select whoever you want on the roster. I selected John Cena for this run, but for some reason your character is a mute for the entire game, which I'm not a big fan of, and it makes no sense because Cena has voice recorded lines when you pick other characters. But here you're totally mute. Season Mode sees you play through 1 year of the WWE and go through storylines and win championships. My first storyline involved me feuding with Renee Dupree over the managerial services of Tori Wilson. Of course, I super Cena that shit and win, and I unlock Tori as a manager, so you can select her for your matches. And after one storyline, I'm able to challenge for the world title, which is just hilarious. Cena walks into GM Kurt Angle's office and Hulk Hogan's his way to a title shot. JBL's the champ here. Of course I kick his ass, and right when I'm about to win, he calls for help and wins by DQ. Our big feud after weeks of beef ends in a giant steel cage, and after 5 minutes, Cena is your new champion. One thing I praise about the SVR games is that fact it has player-determined choices. Do you want to be a goody two-shoes babyface or a dick-headed heel? We never saw it in real life after 2003, but here, Cena's going full heel mode. If you care, I eventually will lose my title in an Elimination Chamber when The Undertaker tombstone me and pin me to eliminate me from the match. My season mode ended with a storyline involving Trish Stratus, and with what I'm about to tell you, just know I'm not joking. Eddie Guerrero and JBL go into Trish's bag and steal her bra and underwear, and Vince McMahon hangs them above the ring in a multi-team ladder match.
What the fuck were they thinking?
Normally I'd have this section of the video filled with some personal stories about the game, but I don't really have any. Now obviously I wasn't alive in 2004 playing this game when it released, but I wouldn't go ahead and play it till years later, and it was never really a game that I played heavily. I love the game, it's a great game, but I don't really have any personal stories with it. But I can certainly say that this game is definitely worth your time and attention. If you haven't played it yet, go play it, go emulate it, it's a good game. This is just part one of many. We're going to take a look at every SVR game leading up to this year's WrestleMania. So stay tuned in the coming weeks and months. Check your inbox for the next video. And yeah, I'll see you later. Peace.
Beat you lifeless, never survived it. Get forgot like all timers. Two-faced rappers walk away with 4 shiners. The raw rhymer, turning legends to old timers. My incisors like a viper biting through your one-liners. New Dead Man Inc. And we about to make you famous.